This is Thriving Chiropractors, where chiropractors supporting chiropractors and talking to chiropractors that are thriving beyond the four walls of their practice. This is Dr. Austin Cohen with Thriving Chiros. Welcome to Season 2, hosted by the Life Alumni Association. And we're so excited because Season 1, we just got so many views and so many listens. We got really good feedback. But Season 2 is live from LVE. And if you are not here, you are missing out. The speakers, the experience, the camaraderie, the vendors. The Life University did an amazing job. And, I feel grateful to be, this is like my alma mater. And actually, our guest today is also a graduate from back in 2001, and we are very fortunate, by the way. He flew all the way here from Puerto Rico to be on this podcast today. Sebastian Bonnin, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Wow, this is
excited to be here.
Yeah, man, and thank you for doing this. This is like super busy guy, very successful, multiple practices, and to me, like, you're just a good guy, man. And so it's great to have guys like you in the profession.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being a mentor to a lot of people and a leader. I think so as well, a lot of people. And I think one thing we do when we do these podcasts is we don't necessarily start with like, all right, let's talk about the story. And we literally go straight tactical and we go into like nuts and bolts with you and I were just sharing a few minutes ago because we're both like just type A driven guys. And, if you look back, in your career, I guess like the last 20 years, right? You think of, there had to have been a shift at some point in your career. And there was like a pivotal moment, whether it was somebody you listened to, a speaker, a race you did, a failure that happened in your life. Like, can you look back and share with our listeners that moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I went from being that on the highest highs to the possible lowest lows in one day. And that's when the hurricane hit Puerto Rico. So we were having the best year of my professional practice.
What year is this?
2017, so I was in my 16th year in practice. Having the best year in practice, your 16th year, just rocking and rolling, man. And I'm like, wow, we had all the goals of the team set. If we hit this goal, we're gonna, you all, get this. If we hit this one, we're gonna hit. We're gonna get this. Everybody was like, oh my, it was a lot of excitement and energy. And then Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, and it went from 100 miles per hour to 2 miles per hour. When you're used to earning at that level, producing at that level, operating at that level, adjusting the volume at that level, and all of a sudden you're like pretty much doing nothing. Bro, imagine just going on Monday and you were there and you got just 5 visits, 5 people in the whole day. Because the rest of the people are looking for food, water, fixing their shelter, and diesel. I'm making an 8-hour line to fill their gas tanks, 8-hour line to get cash from the bank.
Whoa.
So first thing that I did wrong, I underestimated the problem. Because I'm a positive guy.
Yeah.
And I had a fantasy, which was, I'm all cash, everybody's pretty much prepaid. So, they don't have to reach into their pockets to come in to get adjusted. So get over it. Guys, get over it. Come get adjusted. Now is when you need it, right? And, I've been coaching chiropractors for 11 years now. And actually, Life University recognized me as one of the chiropractors responsible for developing chiropractic in Spanish-speaking countries, specifically in Argentina and Brazil. So I've worked with chiropractors and I've worked throughout pretty much all economies, bankrupt economies. Okay, so Puerto Rico, bankrupt economy, in hyperinflation economies, Argentina, emerging economies, Brazil, stable economies at that time, US, but I've never been on a catastrophe economy. And when a catastrophe hits, dude, there's no place for help. The number one seller of heart pacers in Puerto Rico was my neighbor. And he said, I want to invite you to lunch. I said, all right, we go to lunch. And he said, hey, what's business? I'm like, horrible, bro. I'm like going, I don't know how I'm, you prepare for a rainy day fund for 3 months. I had 6 months, but you don't prepare for 18 months. How about you? He's like, well, I used to sell, I don't remember the exact number, I'm just going to say 50 heart paces in a month, which apparently was a lot. Okay. And how much you're selling? Oh, I haven't sold one in 2 months. And I'm like, and he's like telling me, people are calling the cardiologist saying, I know I need a open heart surgery. Do you think I can, prolong this surgery for 2-3 months more? Will I survive if I don't do this for 3 months? And that's what they were doing. And the sickness didn't go away. It wasn't blown by the wind. It was still there. But the priorities changed.
Yeah.
And
so you're thinking about survival.
Yeah.
You go straight to survival mode.
And there's no place for health.
Yeah.
Now, error number 2. So error number 1, underestimated the problem. And error number 2, all the years of that AM ritual, you wake up early and you do all these things to have that mindset. You take care of that mind to make sure that it's like aligned and positive and in gratitude and centered to execute. All those years, 16 years of that, were eaten up in 2 months, 3 weeks, and 6 days. Because it literally lasted 3 months. Everything in nature is broken. So every feedback you're receiving subconsciously, right now Asheville is going through that. Asheville, North Carolina, is going through that. All the feedback they're receiving from nature is broken, dirty, destruction, right? So that you're getting that feedback subconsciously, that you're not seeing flowers, you're not seeing leaves, you're seeing dead trees, broken, beautiful, big, broken tree. You see what I'm saying? And then I was angry, bro. I wasn't frustrated. I was just angry. Like
why?
WTF.
Yeah.
Capital WTF. Why do I have to go through this BS? So I remember, you know how it is. When you wake up and before you go to bed, those 2 moments are like sacred. And I remember, and I've always been very aware of just going into a really good, awesome emotional state on those 2 moments of my day. I remember going angry to bed and I'm like, whoa, I catch myself. And I was speaking in the phone, I said to the person I was speaking at, I'm going to allow myself to be angry for 5 more minutes. So just hear me rant for 5 more minutes and that's it. Tomorrow, everything changes. So I ran for 5 more minutes by clock, by 5 minutes. All right, done. I'm not going to mention anything else. Tomorrow, everything changes. And I didn't know why. I thought that Ine was going to tell me something that night. God was going to speak to me in the next morning meditation. Nothing happened. So as I'm going in my bike to the office, because you don't want to use your gas, because it's an 8-hour ride to get gas, right? As I'm going in my bike, I'm not getting anything. I'm like, man, what am I going to do? And then, boom, hit me. Go do a spine screening. Listen, man, I don't like the word celebrity, but in Puerto Rico, that's what people call me there. And they recognize me. And when I think about doing a spinal screening, it's like, what the heck are you doing here, bro? Why do you need to be here? So basically what happened was I decided to do the most uncomfortable thing I could ever do, which is a spinal screening. And I went, so where do I do it? Well, I'm going to go to the supermarket next door because people are going there for food. So when I go there, I talk to the owner, which is a former patient. And I say, hey, Colette, can I do a spinal screening here? And I explain what it is. I'm just going to set up a chair, a table here, and I'm just going to give all the people, all your clients, an evaluation, going to get evaluated in my office. He's like, well, yeah, fantastic. Do you need a table? Here's a table. Do you need chairs? Here's a chair. Do you want me to put it on the screen? Absolutely. Like, all the summer, these resources were available. And then and then creativity set in. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to engage people? And in order for the clients to get their cards, it's a very narrow, small place. So they have to go through me. So I will hand them their card. So as you come in, let's say you come in, I'll be like, hey, welcome to Colette's Supermarket. The soup of the day is lentil soup. The special of the day is a chiropractic evaluation in my office. I'm the chiropractor next door. If you're interested, you can stop by when you're done. Okay, see you later. So that
Genius.
was it.
Genius.
That was it. So that day, in 3 hours, all like 200 mosquito bites, sweat coming down the inside of my pants, 10 appointments.
Wow.
All right. Those 10 people still are still going to their office, and that changed everything. From that day on, everything changed.
So interesting. My first patients from day one, when I did screenings and I grinded out on the streets of Home Depot and at festivals and fairs and anywhere I could like set up at, a lot of those people, by the way, are still with me.
Yeah, right.
To that day.
What a blessing, man.
It's interesting. So there's a lot, by the way, we can unpack here. And I think what's interesting is we talk about this a lot on this podcast where people's character is truly tested at hard times.
Yeah.
And you could have easily quit and given up, and people probably did. But you were like, no, like, I'm going to keep pushing. And like, is that a testament, do you think, to all the work you've put in over the years to your mindset? Like, cause yeah, the AM stuff like goes away, but like that maybe got you to where you are. I mean, what pushed you?
The people around me. The people around me. I think I could not have done it alone by myself. And chiropractically, almost all my chiropractic friends, they are outside Puerto Rico. They're not in Puerto Rico. I even reached out to my colleagues. Hey, let's train in my office. Let's come. Nobody was answering, man. Nobody was picking up the phone. Nobody went. Everyone went to their caves, literally. And it was the people who I surrounded myself with, who just asked different questions, just asked me different questions, and in that 18 months, which was the worst time, that's when I actually scaled. I went from one office to 3 offices. I say it, I get a laugh because it's like impossible, but it's like, yeah, that's when that happened, in those 18 months. And yeah, man, you can do that AM ritual and work on yourself and really be in this state, but when shit hits the fan, that's when you're
tested, dude.
You're tested. And
for sure. But you obviously stepped up. I mean, I think one thing we do in our office in our company is we do a SWOT analysis, which you've heard about, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And recently we just had a huge hurricane just blew through the U.S. Now, not to this level, but yes, Asheville right now is completely destroyed, right?
Nasty right now.
And we had to talk about that in our company, like, hey, like that could also happen here. And if it were to happen here, what would we do?
Awesome, man.
And that's like the questions, right? We were asking ourselves, like, okay, we need to reach out to 3 chiropractors right now that if something happens here, we get a water damage, flood, fire, we can use their office like at least space from them. And we can have that relationship set up now.
Yeah.
And so
I will tell you right now, you need to make sure that each of your offices have a generator.
God.
Generator. If you have a generator and if you have electricity and water, you can provide a sense of normalcy. And that's what people are looking for. That's why they love to just hang out at the supermarket. The AC was on, there was light, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a sense of normalcy. So I ordered my generator and they were backed up. It came the day before the electricity arrived.
Wow.
3 months, bro, without no electricity. So have a generator. Make sure that, because I had to talk to my team, and I said, listen, I can't pay you. Can't pay you. Because the office is the boat, and we're all inside this boat. I cannot sink the boat. We're all gonna die. So I need all of us to step outside the boat. We're gonna hold on to the boat if you choose to. So if you choose to stay, I'll remember. I'm gonna remember if you choose to stay. But if you want to leave because I can't pay you, then I understand. I won't judge you. And bro, I kept my whole team.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro.
And are they still there today?
They're nope. We developed leaders, bro.
Yeah.
They're either into chiropractic school.
That's awesome.
Or they just went to Hollywood because they want to be alive. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Like, yeah. So.
But those people, the growth most people, when they do something hard, at some point they're going to feel like they just want to quit, and they do. People like you or I, like, we love to do hard things, but when we get to that moment of thinking of quitting, we actually push forward and go through that moment. And it sounds like those people, they did that, and now they're probably just doing bigger things right now.
Yeah, they're doing bigger things. They have like a sense of accomplishment. We went through some hard times, and you went through it. So when the next hard times come, you're prepared. You've been through it. So I got a call from a chiropractor who's in Asheville right now, and he's like, "Dude, what do I do?" He's freaking out. He's freaking out. Like, I can sense his pain, his fear, his pain, his uncertainty, massive uncertainty. And I said to him, so this is what you do. It's flooded, get a kayak. And you go to your patient's houses, and you're like, I'm here to check you and to see what you actually need, to see if I can get it to you. And you're gonna first take care of your family. Your family is taken care of. Okay, what's your next level of influence? Your friends. Are your friends taken care of? Okay, and you adjusted while your friends are taken care of. Okay, what's your next level? Your friends and your team. Family, friends and team, then patients, then the community. How can you take care of your community if your inner circles are not taken care of? I don't like that. So you start with yourself. Okay, you're good. Okay, then your family, and then your friends and your employees and your team, and then your community. So everybody's okay. That's when then you go to a community. You go there, you offer your services. I went to churches. So I went to the churches. The churches became places of handing out clothing, food, and then I'll go there and with my table. And first, take care of the priest and the helpers. You see, the people who are helping, first take care of them, and then take care of the community.
Yeah, so one thing we did is during COVID, of course, like crisis situation, right? That's a threat, virus or pandemic. And so one thing we thought about was we built our own technology over the last 5 years. And what we realized was during COVID, we're like, hey, at some point, if this happens again, or there's some other threat that hits us, like a war, let's say, on America, brick and mortar is not going to be the way that we're going to be able to survive and thrive. So we basically took our technology, we ramped it up, and now other chiropractors use it, right? We had to diversify our portfolio and how we're doing things differently, which, I mean, I'm assuming you've done some diversification too as well as time has gone on with different assets and probably things you've done.
You mean with what I mean, money wise?
Yeah, so for us, it was all of our money, 100% of our income came from brick and mortar. We weren't selling supplements online. Right? We weren't. There was nothing online sales, and so what we did have is we had technology that we built out for our company, and we realized, man, we gotta figure this out. And actually, it's interesting. After COVID, we did go through the threat analysis through when we were doing SWOT. We were like, all right, what do you think of everything else that could happen? Because there will be things that will happen, right?
Yeah,
I mean, whether it's a war on American soil, whether it's another pandemic, which will highly likely in our time, or some other storm. And so we're wrapping up here, and it's I have so many questions I want to ask you, but one I definitely want to ask you is, if you could go back to 2001, Dr. Sebastian, right, and the future version of yourself, the 2024 version is on the other side of the stage as you're walking across the stage, and as the 2001 crosses, what advice would that 2024 version give to the brand new Sebastian?
What advice, man? That wow, I'm such a different person from 2001. Well, it's the whole point of being a chiropractor and just expressing your potential as a chiropractor, whether it is as an associate doctor or as an owner. It doesn't matter. The whole point of this is who you become in this process. Who you become. What type of human being do you become? The chiropractic has provided the perfect context for me to go from an arrogant, selfish, person to a more patient, kind, I guess. I mean, I got long ways to go still, but I see now what that really means. That it's the whole purpose who you become in that process. High self-esteem without humbleness. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yeah. Is just plain arrogance, and arrogance is gonna separate you from your colleagues. It's going to separate you from. And you're going to attract a lot of people who just want to be parasites. And
a lot of self-awareness.
Who you become.
I love
self-awareness.
A lot of self-awareness, man. I love that because my thought was like, I wonder what he's going to say in this answer. My thought was, you're going to say something like, "Hey, man, it's all going to be okay." Like,
right.
It's going to get hard. Exactly. Because when you're going through it, it doesn't feel like that. Like you don't feel like those moments are going to happen. Man, thank you so much. If people want to connect with you, where would they go? I mean, we're all going to go through hard times, and you've been through probably one of the hardest that most people would ever go through, and you came out of it very strong and more successful than ever. I'm sure people would love to hear your story and learn more from you. Where would they go to do that?
Absolutely. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, or the YouTube channel, Dr. Sebastian Bonnin, Dr. Sebastian Bonnin.
We'll put that in the notes.
Yeah, and just DM me. Worst possible way of getting in contact with me is through email or Facebook Messenger. Don't do that, but definitely through Instagram. And yeah, I'm here to serve you. Looking forward. I've known you since you started, and I just want to say I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And keep it up, bro.
Appreciate you.
I definitely seen a better version as you've progressed. So I want to recognize you for that.
Love this guy right here. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It goes both ways. Cool. Thank you guys for listening to Season 2, live from LVE.